RC Captain.
That can.
Hi, today I'm gonna build a circularly polarized antenna such as this one. This is what they call a cloverleaf, and the one I'm gonna build today is gonna be a little longer, and it won't have a 90-degree elbow on it. So for this I need a cable such as this one. You can buy them off eBay, and in this case mine has a little pin in the center. There are others like this one that just has a hole in the center, so you're gonna have to make sure you get the right one. You're also going to need some calipers or some other way to measure with some precision. I guess a ruler is okay if you're not looking for the absolutely perfect performance. In this case I'm gonna be making it with 0.8 millimeters welding wire, and I'm gonna need some pliers like that, and also I'm gonna need a soldering iron and a hot glue gun. But most people who are into FPV has these parts at home. So let's get to it. Now, first thing you're gonna need to do is to click the link to the flight test frequency calculator, and in my case I'm gonna run at 5860 megahertz. So I input that value, and that gives me a length of the wires of 52.39 millimeters. So I'll take my calipers. There you go. 39 or 40. That's okay. In this case it went perfect. So what I do next is I take my my calipers and put them on the table. I've already straightened out the welding wire, and I put it against that one, and then I try to cut them exactly in length. Now I need 3 of these. There you go, and then we measure them. It's supposed to be 5240. Wow, that's way too long. All of them are a little too long. Just take some sandpaper, and we're gonna trim them to size, or rather sand them to size. .5243. .5240, and you do the same with all 3 of them. Okay, so all 3 are the correct length now, and then you put in the value in the calculator again, just a little bit down, and 5860 gives this is the measurement where you're gonna bend it, so it's at 13.09, so 13.1 millimeters. There we go. And now I do like this. I put my calipers on the table and I put my pliers there. And then I just put the wire in between and grip it with my calipers. And then I bend it like that. And you do this with all the ends. That's one. And the same for the rest of them. There we go, there's 3. What you're gonna do now is to make nice bends on them, and when they're done, there's supposed to be an angle between these 2 legs of 120 degrees. So I just do like that. And just bend it ever so slightly. And this is very important if you want a good performance from the antenna. And then you do the same with the other 2. And there you go, 3 lobes for a cloverleaf antenna. So next step is to cut the wire right about there. And then you're gonna take a knife. Forgot to mention that of course you need a knife as well. And take off about a centimeter of the outer what do you call it, insulation of the wire. About a centimeter. Be very gentle so you don't damage the wires in the shield. And then just pull that insulation off and throw it away. Now you need to separate the shield from the rest of the antenna cable. You can do it like this. Just take another piece of wire and stick it in between and try to get it separated. And then I try to divide them up so you get an equal amount of wires in all 3. And then you just twist them to make them stay together. There. Now what you need to do now is to take off the inner insulation, and this step is one of the critical, because you want to go as far down to the shield as you can, but you don't want to be too close. You want to leave maybe 1 or 2 millimeters, preferably not more than 1, but if you need to leave a little more, do that to be on the safe side. And the same here, be very thorough not to damage the cables. Just twist it a little bit. There. Now the next step is to solder the lobes on the wires. Now I use these clamps to hold the antenna cable while I pre-tin the or pre-solder the wires. I think it's called pre-tin, isn't it? And you need to do the same with the lobes. Now you can separate these just a little bit, and just put them back to where they were later on. Some people make sort of a little stand for when they're gonna solder these lobes, but I don't do that. I just do it on freehand, and then I just adjust them so they have the right spacing between them and the right angles. In my case, this antenna is going to be right-hand circularly polarized, and that means that the lobes should go to the right, if from the way I'm looking at it. So like that. And I just take a pair of pliers or another clamp and hold it. And you want to get the leg as far into the center as possible. So something like that. And then you just do the same with the others. Now the way this is supposed to be, it's from the bottom plane, it's supposed to be 45 degrees on the lobes, but I'm gonna adjust everything in later to get the correct angles on them. Now, of course, these 5.8 gigahertz antennas are a little harder to make than for instance, the 1.2 gigahertz, which are much bigger. But when you're done, it's gonna look something like that. Now I need to check all the angles to get it right, and then solder the other end of the legs to the middle pin. And I can see, actually, I don't know if you can see it, but I have contact between that pin and that one. There's a little bit of solder right there, and that's no good. I need to fix that, otherwise the antenna won't work. So I'm just gonna adjust everything into so I get the bottom plane pretty straight, and then I need to have 45 degrees between them, or rather have the lobes at 45 degrees from the bottom plane. So I just put some solder on every leg to the middle pin. And then I just recheck it to see that I don't have any connection between the two, between the shield and the sender. It doesn't look like it, so I just cut the middle pin, the excess of it, and there you go. That's on a Cloverleaf antenna. Oh, I forgot to mention. Now, when you look at it from above, the lobes are supposed to be 120 degrees from each other, so they have to be the same, so it's symmetrical. I hope you understand that. Although I don't know how to explain it better. Let's see, I have some solder there, which I can just cut off. So now, I just take my hot glue gun and I put some hot glue in here just to strengthen it up. It doesn't affect the performance very much, so it's I recommend doing this because otherwise they break quite easily. So that's it. That's a Cloverleaf antenna, which originally was brought to the FPV community by IB Crazy, Alex Grieve. Thank you, Alex, for making this accessible to all of us. It's really improved FPV, and I hope you continue to come up with good ideas, and I know you do. So all that's left now is to mount it. I always, when I unscrewed the other no, that's not that one, my other antenna, I can't find it. Anyways, there was another antenna on here, and when I unscrew it, I always put back the stock antenna, because if I should connect the power to the transmitter without an antenna, it will definitely blow. I've done it to one transmitter and I don't want to do it again, and therefore I have the rule that there should always be an antenna on my transmitters. No power on, see, so I can unscrew it and put my new antenna on there. There we go. And it's also important to see that you mount the right type of antenna, because if you, on this transmitter, which is supposed to have a pin in the middle, if you install an antenna without that, you will not get any connection to the center pin, and you can also in that case damage or burn your transmitter. So that's it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please check out my other videos, and I hope to be able to show you more. Thanks. Bye.